I have had this idea for a few months now, and with 6.5, I think, weeks until BookCon, I finally decided to work on it because I'm so good with deadlines. But yeah, so I have 6.5 weeks to work on this. That was like a viability test. It's not going to be easy exactly, but that's probably the hardest thing, trying to work out how to construct it. So now I'm going to be trying a mock-up, a very, very crude mock-up, to try and gauge how much fabric exactly I'm going to need. I was originally thinking maybe I would tell you what this is, but I think, I mean, originally I was going to like show you the end result and then upload the stuff, but I think it would be more fun to leave you guessing. But I'll give you a clue, because this is still a booktube channel, and the clue is this: Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. working on this so late at night wasn't my best idea, but I think we'll be okay because we have a pattern for the trousers already. I didn't include any seam allowances on the mock-up for the outer layer, shall we say. Well, that's fine. We use like a very standard one. We'll just add that into the measurements. So yeah, that should be okay. I don't know if we'll get to Mandaras today because it's quite late because I slept in, but we have had some problems. Right, so the day that we went out to Mandors in Glasgow, it was the 15th. It was a day later than planned, and there was a lot of problems. Mum and I actually had an argument in the store because she didn't have measurement for the skirt. I gave her that job to do and she didn't do it. She thought that was just to see how it looked, even though the towel version, the viability test, was to see how it looked. The one with the scrap fabric was for measuring whatever. So we ended up buying 2 lots of this fabric, which is a little worrying in itself. One was 2 meters and the other I think 1.2 meters. It is a crepe, which means it's a lovely fabric, but it also means that with the New York heat, which has been talked about in a few BookCon vlogs, I sometimes refer to myself as we, I am risking that this is going to be too hot. So yeah, that's a problem, maybe. The next thing, that's not the only fabric that we got though. There is another fabric that we got, and the thing with the crepe is that it's a lovely fabric, and we didn't really have any idea of what we wanted when we were going in. We tried to keep it open because the idea was, because the inspiration came from a book, just stick as close to these colours as possible, so fabric type was a secondary concern. So we were thinking maybe a stretch, maybe a non-stretch, and the crepe is not stretchy at all, not really. Which on one hand is good because stretch fabrics are very frustrating for me, and this is my project. This is like my big project. This is the one that I designed, and I'm going to try and sew as much of it as I can myself. So on the one hand, that we didn't get a stretch fabric is really good. On the other hand, we got a fabric which is worse than stretch fabric, and that is chiffon. It's only a little bit. I'm not telling you what it's for. Only that we don't need that much of it. This is more than we need. Yeah. So that is a little bit concerning, but more concerning than anything else is that we didn't go in with any measurements at all. What we did, we took this in with us, which is a straight leg trouser pattern from New Look, and we chose size 14 to be on the safe side because I started having like my pre-period symptoms, which included bloating. This, I'm filming this bit on the 22nd, and the bloating still hasn't entirely gone down, so we can't take the measurements. It is going, but we've lost a lot of time, which isn't good. But the plan is, I'm hoping, I've I've got my fingers crossed that the trousers will be done by the end of the month. That is the goal. The trousers and the skirt around the trousers, these are the two main priorities for this month, which is actually a big challenge. I don't know how much you guys know about sewing, but trousers are quite difficult. Also, like, Mum and I in particular have trouble with trousers. There was a cosplay that we did years ago. I think the second one we attempted back when I was 16. Oh wow, that was a while ago. Yeah, back when I was 16, and we made them, and they were like, you could fit two of me in them, and we thought, this isn't right. So we took them in, and then they were too small, we couldn't zip them up. And then third time was the charm, but we're not good. I am not good at measurements. So yeah, we're kind of cutting it short now. I was a little bit hoping to get some other stuff done for before BookCon, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted to end this first part of the project video with at least the pattern pieces cut out to be sewn together. I thought that would be a really good way to end it. That would be all like the pre-sewing stuff done. I think I can get back on time with this. I think we've got 5 months. No, we've got 5 weeks to do this. Just over, I think, 5 weeks to do this. So I think it can be done in a month at a push, but it's still viable, I think. So yeah, if you have found this interesting, please like the video. It's kind of, I don't know how well this is going to go down, so some, like, feedback would be nice. Also, I would actually like to hear what you think this is going to be, other than a disaster.